All right, everybody. Evening and welcome to the Battlegrounds Association. These are newbie games coming. Of course, I am your host, Airless Goose, joined by the first time tonight, Twitch affiliate and Addy player, Elm Zero. Say hello, everybody.
Well, hello there, guys, and I can't wait to cast my first game.
We are starting tonight with ending before we get into game. Of course, we have Texas San Base, Tennessee Knox second, Ole Miss bringing up third, LSU, Virginia, Purdue, Liberty, Minnesota State, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Carnegie, Oklahoma, Northern Colorado State, Central Florida, British Columbia, Wisconsin, and line up for tonight.
And currently, number one in the split, guys, is Texas San Antonio, followed right by UTK. And Ole Miss coming in with in third place here. This will be an interesting contention in the top three. I mean, these guys have fought it out constantly, and let's see how it goes.
What goes on tonight with the split and everything up now? It's a little tired, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, they seem like they're grouping up. This doesn't give them a lot of space on the map to kind of spread out. A lot of these guys, it looks like, are going to start to go farm, and they're going to maybe even spread out to the south of Pochinki here.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, I mean, a lot of these teams could get cars and go far, but with this kind of plane path, you know, it's hard to say where a lot of teams may do that. And we've seen that kind of come up. They get the car, they go to Severny, they go to Lipovka, but they don't, you know, they expect with each other, and they meet there, and you'll see a fight go on.
It looks like we got a couple people landing here just in this small compound. It looks like we got Georgia Tech and Louisiana State both going to fight it out here early. It's kind of a battle here to see who gets the first weapon, at least the good weapon.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, any weapon is really good, especially when people don't have guns. And I am again, a little bit lagging behind his team in the car, but they are going to pick each other up. And look like we're going to see a disengage with the fight here between 10 and 14. So, interesting enough. I mean, the circle actually, what are your thoughts on
this? This is an interesting circle. It looks like we got some people grouping up around school. This might prove to be the main battleground or the start for some of the kills coming in here.
And school is typically not your most popular playground or battleground, as you may say. A lot of it has to do with the teams just don't want to hot drop. You see, there's absolutely nobody at school. Rather, we have two teams, Carnegie Mellon and Northern Colorado. You see Northern Colorado, Team 15 right there, and Strax from Carnegie Mellon are they're in apartments, so they don't even drop school. They drop apartments, which tends to have better loot. I would say school it's at a central location, which I think is why it's a hot spot.
It looks like we got Northern Colorado and Carnegie Mellon. They're both inside apartments here. It looks like we got Northern Colorado kind of grouping up, going into some of these apartments, starting to clear it out, trying to get it the best loot possible. Maybe they know that they're not alone, and they're going to start a fight here.
Yeah, again, you can see definitely bad at CSGO's positioning. Hearing Northern Colorado inside, you see Aragon is on the second floor right there. So he's fully aware that these guys are in. I think he's just giving recon, I would say, to the rest of Carnegie Mellon and kind of say, hey, I know there's guys in this building. Let's get into a good position to kind of surround them. And you can see that if you look on the minimap down there, you have Carnegie Mellon a little bit spread out besides three, and they're kind of cornering, or not cornering, but centering Northern Colorado, which is an interesting strat. Strax being, of course, right inside the building, and then the other three of them kind of all the way on the outside. Strax again, he's right inside. Actually, he hears him. Shots of bad CSGO going on, but we're going to see him go again through the door. This is his time to strike on Montremer as he's peeking out that window. It doesn't know Strax is there. I see no reaction really from the rest of Northern Colorado right now. It's interesting. Aragon. You see those nades are being tossed in. Bad at CSGO, trying to get those. Damage from Montremer. Bad at CSGO going to get the one-hit kill on Montremer. He's super low, and Strax going to come out immediately. Great teamwork, and Strax going to go ahead and finish him off right there. Great teamwork from Carnegie Mellon right there.
It's really going to take Northern Colorado to finish off Carnegie Mellon here to be able to proceed with their looting path. Even losing 1 or 2 guys in a small firefight like this can really change, your positioning in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Especially even in terms of positioning. If you look at where they are right now, Soderek is on the roof, so he has a good position to get out. But Aragon holding the stairs right now. Typically, you're kind of quartered into there, so it's rough, in that kind of position to get out. I mean, being on the roof is way better than being on the second floor, but in this situation, totally surrounded.
What's up?
Oh, there he goes. Gonna go ahead down right there. Battersea with the Tommy gun of all weapons, leaving Aragon, the last player left alive. Oh, he's gonna get taken out immediately. Allen, great positioning. Carnegie Mellon played that incredibly well.
Yeah, that was just good positioning overall. That was very good clearing of those rooms, being able to figure out where they are, listening to those steps. Now it's just it appears that they lost 1 player. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's unfortunate.
So interesting, great gameplay coming out of these guys right here. So far,
no,
good engagements.
They did not lose a player. Huh.
No, they are still fully alive.
Well, it looks like we got number 6 being Georgia Southern. It looks like they're a little split. We got Legolas down at the southeast part of Pochinki with the rest of his team. University of Cincinnati, we've never really done this split, but I've seen it, especially with Maxter in a couple games, it being very popular among these teams, and a lot of them are starting to try this out, where they lag one of their players behind, and that really, they just kind of snake around, and I can definitely say I've felt the brunt end of that.
Now, do you think that's I've seen a lot of it, but I've never had somebody on who's actually been a part of that. Does that work out for you guys typically, or do you find that sometimes you lose that one straggler and then you're just in a worse position for the later game, or does it work out and you kind of get good recon or good intel about the rest of the map and team?
So we've never done that. We've never done that personally, but we did come across a couple weeks ago when we played against WVU, and Maxter definitely snaked us. He saw us the whole time and snaked us around, and just absolutely he took me right out of the game, and that was actually able to get him second place. So I think it's a good strat. I think it works out.
Yeah, definitely not something I usually see in pub play. Again, it's kind of come out of the CBA style of passive gameplay and just waiting for favorable engagements instead of forcing them yourself. So it's interesting to see that we've seen it was kind of popularized in playoffs last year, and we saw that kind of come into the second season this time. And a lot more teams you see every week is just kind of one boy straggling around, and then you see, oh, I've never seen this team do it, and now they're trying it. So I think a lot of it's in practice you'll see teams getting it started. And
looks like we got an airdrop here in the middle of the playing field, right dead in the middle of the circle. It looks like it's a Groza. Got a nice cheek pad and adrenaline surge, and even that little snake boy ghillie suit. Yeah,
definitely a solid crate. Looking like it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be contested. Team you see Culpeper and Georgia Southern, team 6 right there, may contest it, but then again, Lone Potato with UTK might also go for it. Fuzzy Sloth and Minnesota State, Mankato will also go for they might go for it. So
man, Ole Miss up at the northeast, it looks like they're gonna have to start moving here soon. They're sitting up by Stauber and Kameshki.
Yeah,
they're gonna really need to run for that circle, but on the way it looks like they might even run into team number 7, Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
if they go right through Yasnaya, that could easily be a gun down or a vehicle explosion.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot before. Maybe a convoy strat with Knive picking up Frisbee, but Age of Defeat and Sam LTV up there in your Stauber having cars of their own. Another strat, they might go towards the north, towards Severny, which in that case will run into VCU, Virginia Commonwealth right there. So it may be the case that they run in and see VCU, but really depends, because if you go south towards Yasnaya, you have to go across the bridge, or you have to follow the river down, which it may end up being kind of detrimental because you're kind of forced into a certain path unless you want to go all the way down and around, way past Yaz towards school. But
be definitely interesting to see them take a boat, or team number 7 there, Virginia Tech, take a boat down that river. I've never really seen a CBA game where somebody takes a boat down the river, unless very detrimentally need to.
Yeah, no, the river, I mean, boats do spawn, and I believe jet skis do spawn in Miramar, which I didn't know for a while, and they do spawn kind of on that river. So it's possible, but they only fit 2, so you would have to find 2 for a squad of 4, or even 3. So typically players just kind of either swim it or run along it from what I've seen. Because again, swimming is one of those tactical decisions you have to make well in advance.
And you need a lot of cover for swimming. Absolutely tons of cover. So when you come back up, you do not just get gunned down by somebody that's just camping you right there in the water.
Yeah, and we've seen that unfortunately come time and time again with a lot of snake boys, water boys, whatever you want to call them, just kind of in the water alone towards the end of the game. You know, you have one team on the Overwatch just looking directly at you, so by the time you peek up, you're just done. There's nothing you really could have done about that. It's good for placement, but, you know, definitely going to have to see kind of how this ends up playing. I don't believe the river will play a while. It's my third channel. I've been wrong multiple times. The river may not be as big of a...
Looks like we got Virginia Tech going with a nice no convoy, just one car all together. That's honestly, I think that's pretty risky moves, especially going down a main road. I think convoys are the better solution here, because you run into an M249, it's 4 kills for the team with the M249.
No, absolutely, and we've seen that time and time again in CBA. Where cars just even a squad of 4 with ARs and at a decent range, maybe 1 to 150, 100 to 150 meters, you can get a good spray down on a car. Probably even 150 is looking at Loplo, you're gonna get Alex Rubin's guy with M16 as well as Amp. Nice spray down and trade. Killing Amp with his car on in retaliation, they are gonna go ahead and finish off that team. Our first team eliminated Meister, Alex, and JM Kid gonna go down.
And will Venus GG, team number 5, Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, go for that airdrop? That could get them maybe a nice juicy 15 time scope.
Possibly. Again, it's a little far away for them, and they are going to have to run across pretty decently no-covered field, I would reckon to say. So they're looking at it. You see Venus GG from SIU. He's looking at it. He's debating it. But switching over gears, this is UTSA. Texas San Antonio, dropping, of course, some trademark Pachinki for them. Just a drop that, you know, they've practiced time and time again, and just they know where the loot is, they know how to hold those angles, and any team that really contests them there, it's a rough fight. It's not guaranteed, but from what we've seen from their previous performances, just yikes.
Yeah, definitely UTSA. They have a ton of really good fraggers. I mean, you have Zraven, who is definitely up there, especially in the North American region. Asian Persuasion, who is just they go after just kills, and they seem to win with just going just pure kill hungry. Yeah,
I believe Zraven's top finish on the NA leaderboards is 3. That's not an exaggeration. That's the number 3, 1, 2, 3. His score in just KDA is insane. So even just on the leaderboards, and I know that's pubs, but as you start to get up in there, you know, it's hard to maintain that level of proficiency, and they hit the top 3 in the NA squad first person leaderboards, and you know, it's definitely shown in the CBA. You know, his UTSA's game sense and just frag ability has been out of this world, and you know, there's a reason they're on the top right now for the division.
Yeah, definitely going up against them, you know, especially last season in last split in Emerald was absolutely insane. It was great to play against them. Oh, it looks like we got an OM.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a 4 times in a crate before, but that's
hey, it might help somebody out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I've played with, talked to, just generally prefer the 4 times. I mean, since the 8 times doesn't save your zoom setting on weapon switch, so when you switch back, it's going to be fully zoomed the 8-way in. So you can zoom all the way out to about 4 times level, but it won't stay that way. So sometimes people just prefer the field of view that the 4 times gives you, even with the new fisheye effect that we've seen.
Yeah, I definitely only use the 8 times scope personally on cars.
Yep, that tends to be the case. In a lot of the DMRs, you just want to usually stick to a 4 times. So engagement between 21 and 12 right now. Cogswell College going to be fired upon by Carnegie Mellon from the downhill position. Right now, trying to see if he can scope out those guys from behind the tree. See Bad at CSGO and Allen taking those shots, kind of catching Cogswell out. You see they really expect to engage right now. Strax taking some damage, but Gunner going to go down right now. Bad at CSGO getting that knock with the Scar L. Also trying to get Deuce. Just peeking a little bit. He's not. He's going to have to shoot right now. Go behind the tree, peek down, and rest and rebandage himself. But definitely think Cogswell kind of got caught out right here.
It looks like we got Strax coming up the right side and going to make that that nice fragging ability. Maybe get 1 or 2 drops and be able to push even further.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that kind of be this like the key for pushing right now. You get a drop, you get a kill on somebody, that's where you push because you know you have numbers. But in this case, I'm not sure if Carnegie Mellon was in a position to push or they wanted to because it would be uphill. So pushing uphill is a little bit rough. Smiling Monkey actually going to knock out Bad at CSGO with the M4 right there. And a nice peek. And Cogsville does have 4, and I believe Carnegie Mellon is fighting with 3 right now. So they are trying to... Oh, nice! Strax is going to get nailed in the head. Maverick with the AK. Good stuff. Great shot. That was a good reaction, too. He didn't peek his head for very long. Or, yeah. Trying to nail those one taps. And he knows he's low because he went back to heal up. Gonna hit another one! Nice! Maverick Dog gonna get the finish, and Duke gonna get him with the M416. Nice, and we're gonna see the push now. Maverick Dog with no helmet gonna be pushing down towards the west end of these guys on your screen. Oh, he's gonna get caught out though. Allen, Bad at CSGO, gonna punish this push pretty hard. Smiling Monkey very low. Maverick Dog down but not out. It looks like they're gonna go for the kill right now. He's gonna bleed out. There we go. Smiling Monkey down as well. And leaving. Oh no! What the frick? This just doesn't stop, does it? These guys going at it. Bad at CSGO down to 1 health as well. Smiling Monkeys also has no bandages and is super low. He has a little bit of energy drink left, but I don't. He's gonna get 1 tick, maybe 1, 2 ticks. But actually,
these guys are definitely playing a very risky game, not having helmets. I mean, it only takes 1. It only takes 1 without that helmet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And from the amount of 1 taps we've seen, the amount of peaks, it's been nuts. And looking like Carnegie Mellon actually going to get pushed here, leaving Bad at CSGO the last player left alive. And Cogswell College actually going for it. And they're going to finish. They're going to try and get it. Swinging over to UTK right now. UTK and British Columbia Persuasion Agent going for the flank around in this yellow house. Sees him right inside the door. He's going to do the fake open. Actually, what a nutty play! Persuasion Agent with the fake out. Oh, nice play. Fantastic work.
What a brilliant fake.
Oh, yeah.
I would have fallen for it even myself. That was insane, and he'll have enough time to just get Zraven up there.
Fantastic work. I believe I only see 3 players right here for UTSA. Actually, Meerkat down, and then Persuasion Asian and Zraven left alive. Persuasion gonna go for that pickup. Zraven gonna go down again. Actually, look at it's me.
It's like he got shot on the outside.
Yeah, team Southern Illinois Edwardsville is actually coming in for the play right now. It's Raven down, but he's bleeding out fast. And UTSA, for as good as the plays are, kind of got pinched out. Raven might not get rezzed here, given his position.
I don't think he knows that there's a whole team directly for him. I don't even know if he knows where that shot came from.
I mean, if they were paying attention to the kill feed, they could have seen that it's a different team. But if they know the teams, but if they don't, you know, it's that kind of scenario where, oh crap, is there more than one team? I don't actually know. But SIUE now enters the fray and kind of caught UTSA out. And possible they look like they are just going to ditch and live to fight another day. But now SIUE is engaged British Columbia. And interestingly enough, they didn't go for the res. Aoman is going to go for the res at the last moment. VSGG, could he see?
Ooh, he didn't see him there.
Oh no, I don't. It's me Tucky gonna go for that kill. Nice. Good spray down. One more left line. Ailman. Oh, Ailman actually gonna go to spray down. He's gonna get 1. Again, he's gonna get 2! He's gonna go for those kills. Gonna go reclaim that position in the bathroom. JWA. 1v1. Ailman having no health. JWA totally at full. Oh, he's gonna get shot. Did UTSH is taking shots? And he clutches it.
And he eliminates.
Oh, but his teammate bleeds out right at the end. But what a great play. Ailman from British Columbia. Actually doing work.
That was great, I gotta say. That dinner plate that came in could have saved the day, but I mean, the dinner plate just does not have that rate of fire, especially in close quarter combats like that. You know, the Yoomp would have definitely been the best weapon of choice there.
Oh, yeah. In that situation, just kind of general bedlam when you have 2 teams enter the fray and, you know, you have to have one come out. Speaking of coming out, Meerkat UTSA looking at Central Florida right now. CEO going to go down right now, leaving Goobis and with the rest of them alive. I don't think they're going to stop and go for him, just given their situation. No cover right now. Meerkat taking those hot shots and leaving the CEO
gotta say, being a top fragger, it takes. I think the biggest part about becoming a top fragger is definitely learning how to use the 4x scope, and anything over 300 meters or even 200 meters is definitely something to learn with lead on bullets.
Oh, definitely, because it's such a versatile scope. You can use it close or long range. By close, I mean like 100 meters or less. It's possible. It's not optimal, but
yeah.
UTSA getting shot at again, caught between a rock and 4 hard places, being teams Minnesota State and Mankato, taking some shots now, catching them out in the open fields, getting a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. Fuzzy Sloth and the rest of these guys trying to take a look out in the fields. Also, Central Florida still in it, so UTSA just in a bad spot outside of the zone, in the hills with no cover. 2 teams to their front and center. So interesting to see how they play this and if they're going to end victorious or not.
Ooh, Meerkat's going to definitely have to run here. He knows that they're over there. He can see them,
yep.
But he's going to have to run. Will he take these shots? He will.
He's going to be a little bit
pan.
The pan a little bit, but he's going to see Whiplash get up, but he's going to get a nice shot. He's going to take him and put Meerkat down right there, leaving Persuasion Asian, the last player left alive. Nice headshot! Persuasion Asian nails a little pixel peek right there, able to put him down effectively. But Meerkat, looking like he's not going to go for the res now, and Persuasion Asian just... Is he dead? I think they finished him off. I believe so. Man, UTSA just full... Like, this was a hard spot for them to play.
Especially with that last fight, they were just able to sneak by as Venus GG and his team ended up coming in and, of course, dying to...
British Columbia there.
Yeah, British Columbia, yeah.
One of our newer chapters in the first international chapter in the Collegiate Battlegrounds, hailing from British Columbia in Canada. Look at Team 10 now. I am win these guys. LSU, Louisiana State, firing upon Virginia Tech. Team 7 right here. Again, outside the zone. Team 10 does have zone disadvantage right now. But they did knock a player out, giving them the freedom to kind of move around and see what's going on.
Looks like we got Virginia Tech and Oligarchy still down. I wonder if it looks like they're about to go revive their teammate. It looks like, if anything, they got the best positioning on the field.
And to finish the story up, UTSA going to finish 13th, actually, with a fair amount of kills, but the positioning, again, means the most in CBA, and that 13th spot is going to hurt the rank, I would reckon to say. Seeing as UTK is still alive here, and they want to, again, all these top 3 teams are competing with each other. They really want to, kind of grind for these points, and having UTSA die so early is going to give UTK a big advantage in terms of positioning and points, really. They are in a little bit of a rough spot. You can see Georgia Tech and Illinois State in the Team 18 now. Luscious times on the move, trying to land on Larson right now. Just tapping away. He's going to go, though. Knive is going to finish him off, though. Knive. Ole Miss actually coming all the way across.
I gotta say, I've seen very few helmets in this game. I keep seeing people running around with without helmets, and not to berate or belittle, but gotta get those helmets. Gotta, even the level 1s. Gotta get the love.
Look at this, Slat again, pushing down the hills. Silent Beetle is going to go down right now. HDBs and the rest of Louisiana State. LSU is going to make an aggressive hold. Oligarchy, last player left alive on Team 7 right now. They're getting a fight by Slat and put down. Absolutely fantastic teamwork from LSU right there. Going to eliminate Virginia Tech to finish in 12th spot. Actually, really Camel and just going to go down as well in 11th place.
I said earlier, Virginia Tech was in a pretty good spot. They could have easily, waited for them to come across to that field and sit there for the circle, and they could have, gunned down Louisiana State. But it just happens that sometimes you don't know that it's coming, and the bullet just comes from nowhere. Yeah,
and a lot of these teams just kind of, they make the risky play. The IGL makes the call, and everybody respects it. And sometimes that respected call, while may not be optimal, actually ends up working out for the team. Look at that, Team 4. Again, this is Ole Miss, who kind of entered the fray with UTK and Georgia Tech kind of outside. You saw Knive get one of those picks earlier, and Ole Miss in 3rd place right now. Currently behind.
That was a smart strategy right there, pulling up that car to give you a little bit of cover, but that is a ticking time bomb, and that's definitely they shoot at it and you're close enough. Could easily be 2 more kills for the enemy team.
You've been in this situation probably more than I have, but is the radius of the car explosion a lot lower than I think it is? Because I've seen a lot of teams use the car as cover, but not typically be concerned about the car explosion.
I've learned in this game that everything is everything is almost unpredictable. It feels like you should be super far away from the car, and it explodes. Ooh.
Ooh, be the victim with the SKS. Nice tap is going to be able to pull him out. So again, here's your 4 times on the DMR that I was talking about a little bit earlier. Frisbee going behind the tree, but they're unsure. Kind of looks like they're unsure where they're getting shot from. And that car,
He's gonna definitely have to shoot underneath those tires. It looks like they're lining up just behind the tires so that he can't nail the last shot.
Which is a good strat. And again, the smoke grenades coming down. So smoke grenades super important. They're not physical cover, but the visual cover gives teams a lot more options to move around and try and pick off where they're going. So Griff Galmore gonna get one of those picks onto Legolas with the AWM. Son of Pant gonna finish him off though, the M416. Legolas from Georgia Southern, if I recall correctly. Team 6.
Yeah, it looks like Georgia Southern, they've been playing well. It looks like they've been, I haven't really seen too many engagements from them. They've been playing very sneaky. It looks like they got one head of VSS, and they've been kind of sneaking around the map. Culpepper, he just recently got picked up by a team, and he's been doing pretty well this season.
I am Win making the interesting decision to go kind of almost full auto with the SKS here. That recoil is a nasty thing, even with the grip and cheek pad. Not, as you can see, he's not able to connect with any shots down there. Again, a little bit risky. Georgia Southern and Liberty University right now, team number 9 being Liberty, trying to peek with the AWM on Griff, not able to connect with that shot, but Culpepper actually from Georgia Southern. Out there onto West Moon. Actually, this is team 16, Oklahoma, into the very 3 teams right now. Jaeger finally going to die to the play zone. Culpepper going to finish off Oklahoma.
Looks like Liberty's coming up right behind them. They don't even know.
Griff Galmore with a good spray down. He's going to go for it, trying to get killed. Able to get the pixel peek on the hill, but he's going to go down. Culpepper just narrowly misses it. He's going to finish him off right there. Leaving Z Captain is the last player alive on the Liberty right now, who is in the water. Culpepper did kind of catch him out. Swimming Boy gonna go down, and
he wasn't able to dive quick enough, and sadly that ended it for him. Yeah. Even with the bullet not being able to go too far underneath the water, just enough.
Just enough. Or I think he was swimming too, so it could have been that, just where he was his like upper torso was sticking out. B-Boy Darkic, team 14 from Georgia Tech, holding this compound right next to UTK and Ole Miss, actually. So 3 teams, 2 powerhouse teams in our top 3 in the Georgia Tech as well, in that kind of a relative area. So it may end, interestingly, I would reckon to say, within the same compound. We have Ole Miss and Georgia Tech right now.
And we got a lot of different teams here, all scattered within this compound. It looked, but even that downhill slope right there, for Team 13, Minnesota State, that's deadly. They're gonna have to find the very little cover that they have, or use smokes to be able to get up that mountain, or get a couple picks off of Ole Miss in order to really get up into that compound. That's gonna be crucial.
And again, they are in the zone. It's important to note the zone is kind of southern, so they could just chill in the zone for a while. They don't really have to move. Everybody on the north end has to move down into them, so they could use that to their advantage. Luscious UTA looking like they're going to get one down. LSU going to get that big HD piece, and Sheila going to finish him off unexpectedly. Luscious very low right now, trying to get the smoke off. But there goes the helmet. There goes the torso. He's going to go down in the middle of the field right now. A really rough spot for him to get picked up, especially with Lone Potato holding that 3-story, and LSU having a really good angle right now. Early 103 going to be knocked outside the play zone.
It's really unfortunate. You think you can lay down in the grass and it would disguise you, but at a certain distance, the grass doesn't render, and they can see you as clear as day. I've definitely seen it through many death games before.
Slat from Team 10. This is LSU again, engaging Culpepper and Georgia Southern right now as they push down the hill. A good team coordination as Saint goes and finishes them off. Culpepper going to go down, and Georgia Southern going to get a 7th place finish as they now engage onto they see 14. They see Georgia Tech possibly in the water. LSU was getting peppered down. Saint took a shot right there. You can hear him. Oh, here comes a Lone Potato in the Dacia straight to the water. The 200 IQ Dacia plays as the water is good cover. Slat gets kind of caught out right now. Team 13 taking some casualties over there. 2 people drop for Mankato right now, and giving LSU the perfect opportunity to push down the hill and secure their spot in the zone.
Lone would have been my favorite man if he had ran somebody over and then went into the water.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. Just taking one of LSU out with him and then getting in the water. That would have been perfect.
Oh, LSU would definitely hyper focus at that point. They would
Oh,
definitely want Lone Potato dead, and that would be definitely an interesting strat just on that.
Oh, what a nade. Is that possible? The roll is going to be a little Joker.
Ooh.
No, it's going to be just
small.
outside of the range. Here comes two Little Joker now, kind of knowing where Ole Miss is. It's going to be Little Joker taking some shots again at Ole Miss. Sam LTV killing up the full, and Ole Miss with 3 players engaging Minnesota State right now. Oh, that frag grenade. Headshot. Oh no, Frisbee actually. Gonna get with the headshot M416. Peeked out a little bit too much. Securing Mankato a 5th place finish.
There's a lot of solo people here still left. 4 teams down, or 4 teams left here, and we got oh, she's not in the circle.
Oh, get in. There he is. Now he's in.
Oh.
We have Sheila is from Illinois State. Is the actually I think he's the only solo boy as it's Ole Miss. Oh, never mind. B-boy Darkic from Georgia Tech. Now the final player left alive. The silenced AK. I'm trying to get HD Beast right now. Does actually get him. Actually, it's going to be a big deterrent right now as Saint and I Am Win try and finish or try and locate where he is. He is prone.
Oh, they see him.
They say, yeah, he kind of sees him. Here's that muzzle flash, but he's going to get another one. Going to knock 2 players out. Sheila from Illinois State going to try and go for the kill right there, but good shots. The suppressor did come in handy right there.
Definitely got to be careful with that. I know that she did not know that there. Well, it kind of depends. She should have been a little bit more careful in knowing that might have been a full team. Mm-hmm. But you know, I definitely know how that feels. Wanting to go for absolute kills and getting a higher kill placement.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the last remaining member of Georgia Tech is getting caught out in that river there. Going to go ahead and get eliminated. Somebody from Ole Miss, I believe, finished that off. Now, LSU and Ole Miss are fighting it out.
It looks like they're going to try to go high. Looks like Louisiana State is going to go high on Ole Miss there. Oh, they got him.
4v3 right now, and I Am Win gives everybody's position away. And I think they're ready for it, but I Am Win going to get deleted immediately as the peak from all 3 players is enough to put him down as IMEs again puts down, trying to get those sprays in the San TV, but the little short burst are going to be enough for him to be pushing back. Saint as well going to take some damage. Ole Miss just showing their fragging power right now. LSU trying their best to contend with it, but the 3v4 is actually working out in Ole Miss's favor.
It looks like definitely Ole Miss is going to have to go high. They're going to have to use that tree coverage. It definitely has no tree coverage at this very moment.
No, they don't. And Knife actually going to go down. You can see Slat with the SKS knocking him out. With the 2 times going to get retraded, though. That pick for Ole Miss matters more, though, as their numbers are less. HTB is going to go ahead, maybe go for Slat right now, or they might leave him. No, maybe. They're debating. He's going to go for it in the end right now. It's just a battle of picks here. Who can use what they have to their advantage? LSU has numbers, and I don't know where Ole Miss has. It's not much to go right now. He's going to get low again, leaving Anthony, last player left alive, and Saint can go for it, but that's going to be it. He's actually going to go ahead and get him, and that'll be it for game number 1.
Wow, what a game!
Ruby. Yeah,
what a game! There was a ton of picks there at the end, just pick after pick. The armor must have just been destroyed towards the end there.
Oh yeah, no, that was a game of headshots, I would reckon to say. Just a ton of headshots going back and forth with each other. A lot of just trading blows. I think that's partially the reason we didn't see a whole lot of helmets. Just people were nailing those headshots. Let's give a shout out quick to some of our top fraggers. Aomen with 5 kills. HDB, Saint, and I Am Win having 4 each. Slat bringing up the rear with 2. Sam LTV having 3. Sheila having 3. Rita Victim and Luscious 2 each. Fuzzy Sloth having 3. Culpepper from Georgia Southern having 4. Griff Gallimore, Liberty University 3. Bad at CSGO actually from Carnegie Mellon having 6 kills. And other than that, our top 3, LSU, Ole Miss, and Georgia Tech.
Man, that definitely for the top 3 contentions, you know, between UTSA and UTK. You know, I think there was just some bad circles where they had to definitely run, and that definitely, no matter what team, no matter how high you are, having to run and try to beat that circle and trying to dodge all the bullets sometimes just does not work out in the end result.
Yeah, no matter how good you are, and as we've shown with UTSA, an extremely well-off team that's just kind of got cornered by all these teams in the bad circle placement, and just ended up not just not able to clutch it out in a tough position for anybody to be in. And actually, we mentioned this a little bit earlier about UTSA being our top, or having some of our top kills. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at our top players with Suka dominating the top killers leaderboard right now with 79 kills. This man has 79 kills in the Collegiate Battlegrounds Association. Insane. Just great aim. And just overall really good ability to kind of, I think a lot of it is gauging fights and knowing where to peek and knowing where to move, because raw aim can only get you so far.
Yeah, I definitely, I've seen Suka's spray, and he has one of the best sprays, you know, right there with snow, right, you know, above Snow Dragons. Today, you know, especially in Diamond, we got to go right toe to toe with Snow Dragons, and his spray, especially with the 4x scope, is absolutely insane. And Suka, you know, I've gotten to go toe to toe with him a couple times, and I gotta say, definitely UTSA has done something to practice that spray, either playing CS:GO or playing some battleground simulator. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, especially given it's important. If you guys didn't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is correct, that all sprays are random. There's no set spray pattern for the guns right now. So
I would say there's somewhat of a pattern,
but it's not like CS.
No, it's definitely not like the, you know, you take an AK, it's the L shape for CS, or you know, depending on definitely the weapon. But in this game, there's definitely that only just a left and right purpose off that spray, and practicing that, I've definitely had to practice that time and time again. I wish, you know, I could say like there's a battleground simulator that practices the spray, but I think CS:GO really teaches you how to control the left and right spray, or the, you know, the knockoff to the left and right. And especially with like the M4 or the I think the AK is the worst, but especially with the M4, it is definitely interesting to try to you know, balance that left and right motion off that spray.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I think a lot of new players, or new teams, myself included, kind of struggle, is the left and right compensation in PUBG at least. And a lot of these guys tend to what do you call it? They get that, and you see that reflected. I think Asuka just completely understands that. And then the rest of the top killers is Snow Dragons with 55 from Arizona State. You're in trouble from UIUC, Urbana-Champaign with 53. University of Oregon from Chubba Bubba from the University of Oregon, I think 51. Fiasco from the OSU crew, 46. And Zraven bringing up the rear six with 43. So just, I like to see a lot of these. So if you notice, UTSA, ASU, UIUC, Oregon, and Ohio State are our top teams in their respective divisions. They're all in the top three. You can go ahead and take a look at Ruby. You see UTSA is first currently with 576. Again, this is all subject to change, as we just played a Ruby game, and Ole Miss in third place. But I believe they're going to go up. I don't know the points off the top of my head, but it's going to be very close between you see Ole Miss and Tennessee. They were only off by a delta of 36 points. So with that delta right there, and given how Ole Miss played and came in second right there, and UTK came in fifth right there with less kills. I think Ole Miss came out with 5 or 6 kills. It's definitely going to be a shakeup. And UTSA, I mean, they have a solid lead, so I don't believe they're going anywhere after that first game. If we're just looking at that, again, they are going to play another game. We are going to be streaming the Emerald game number 2 for you guys coming up. But I think UTSA is safe in first place right now, even after their subpar.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they have nearly 100 points up.
It's hard to knock off, especially with the number 1 killer, and you know, not even too far down there. And of course, the number 3 in the North American region is Raven. I mean, it's hard to knock off that kind of, you know, that kind of team. You could have 2-3 guys that are, you know, pretty good, but still at the end of the day, they know their spray, they've practiced it a lot, and that's a team that just plays super aggressive. And if you're in a building, definitely watch out for them, because they're coming for you. They know their sprays, they know how to control those buildings, especially when we saw that fake with Asian Persuasion.
Oh no, that was such a great play. That's if we're gonna borrow some stuff, your Bronze Star, your play of the game, your whatever you may call it, that was such a great fake out. That's so much knowledge of the game to know where you are, to know where you're going, like where he's going to be looking. The dexterity to hit your F key or your use key on the door in such a way that it doesn't show where you are is insane.
Oh yeah. yeah, he was able to pass by it just slightly, or slightly, and definitely he was able to just trick out the competition. And it was he definitely had that knowledge in that sense to know where his footsteps were, or the ability to hear those footsteps, and definitely know that he was on that facing the door on the right side.
And speaking of some of our top teams, let's go ahead and take a look at our most winning teams, or winning most teams, whatever you want to call it. And from the Diamond Division, University of Washington having 6 wins now is just an insane amount of wins. Kennesaw State having, and it's, if you didn't know, Kennesaw State has all of their wins in a row. So they won 4 Emerald Division games in a row, by the way. And I'm excited to see them next game. Of all the teams, these guys are just insane working together. And we take a look at their current standings. We'll go right back to the killing teams, but they're in 5th right now. They only have 370 points. But then again, you look at who's in 4th, Riverside, with 473. It's a 103 point delta for them to overcome. And at that rate, you just have to hope Riverside doesn't show up to like 4 games in a row.
Oh yeah, Riverside has definitely picked up some key players just from scouting around their own school. We've definitely seen, and it's a lot of talk through the community at the moment. We have a guy named Faded Shiba that plays for the University of Riverside, and he currently playing down in D2. But I'm definitely excited to see him come into D1 and see what he can do. Yeah,
absolutely. From what I've seen from him in Division 2, he definitely has the aim. And he definitely has kind of the game sense, but I think they're just waiting. They're waiting to bring him up in terms of, just CBA, because CBA plays so much differently than a lot of pubs. And a lot of these players, some have, but some haven't played in other Battlegrounds leagues that are out there. So I would say competitive. So some of them have an idea for what competitive PUBG is like, but some of them don't. And that's kind of where D2 starts to get you introduced to that. So I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing what happens there, and if it'll help Riverside out. And you can see Riverside, we're looking back now at your win leaders across divisions 2 through 7. Kennesaw, Arizona State, Texas San Antonio, Tennessee Knoxville, Urbana-Champaign, and Riverside all tied with 4 wins each. And then Oregon, Ohio State, and Virginia Commonwealth tied for the bottom 3 with 3 each. And all of these teams are, if I recall correctly, with the exception of Kennesaw State, are in the top 3. For their respective divisions.
And I definitely love, one thing about PUBG, and you can look at these like 6 and 4 chicken dinners. It's nuts to almost see that there's this many people with 4 chicken dinners. Personally in Cincinnati, we only have 3 chicken dinners, but we're not too far away from Virginia Commonwealth, and I love the fact that it doesn't always have to be the best man that wins. Sometimes it can be luck, but it's about what you do and how you take the situation you're dealt, and how can you overcome the current situation, especially with aim and especially with positioning and tactic.
Yeah, so like a lot of and I've kind of thought of this before, and I really didn't get it before I started really looking and watching CBA, is a lot of the time you would hear that people just, oh, this circle was bad, and I can't get to the circle because it was too far away. But a lot of those times you'll see these teams come through, and you see the circle, right? And then you immediately make your decision. Your IGL has to be Johnny on the spot with the call. Do we leave now? When do we leave? What time do we leave? And every team has to respect that. And with that kind of calls, you're really able to take advantage of a bad situation and turn what would normally be a crappy circle into something that you will actually turn out to be a winning position with. And that's where a lot of your skill comes in CBA. I would say if you're in a draw 50-50, it's that game sense, that knowledge of where I need to be, when, and, can I click on the enemy gamers' heads? Just one of those two things. It's a split. And
yeah,
you definitely see a lot of overlap in those two categories.
Yeah, and I definitely got to say, I think there is bad circles, but personally I think there is bad circles, but sometimes you just got to look like, winning is the objective of this game, and like getting number 1. But, I've even seen where, and UTSA has kind of proved this, is that if you get, I don't know, let's say 15 kills in a game, but you get 2nd, 3rd place, you still you just did basically the work of number 1. And that's what I think's very interesting is like even me like UC's gone up against UTK where they were all in a building and the circle just
Yeah,
happened to push to them.
that was
And
I watched that happen.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. That's
yeah,
like that's a bad circle. Just straight up.
yeah.
There's nothing you can do with that situation. That's a
No.
bad circle. You would have won if it was the other way around. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had flashbangs and we were like, oh yeah, let's just chuck a couple flashbangs and see. And of course, from that far, it was such a toss. It was sometimes, but I'm still proud of those teams that get as many kills as they do and still make it to third or second, because at the end of the day, it's about not like placement is truly what it's about, and it's not always about getting number one, but it's also really about how the whole game went entirely. Did you guys position well, at the start of the game and at the end of the game? And that's what I love about PUBG. And no matter the RNG and all this, I think still what you do and that the best man doesn't always win really gives it a unique feel.
Yeah, definitely. And especially with our league, as we reward consistency kind of above almost everything. Again, points are awarded to teams who finish first, and you get more points than second. But at the same time, consistent finishes with the supplementation of kills, adding 1 point per kill, which is a lot more than a lot of other leagues kind of give kills credit for. It ends up balancing out, and you see a lot of the teams over the course of their games, if they play all their games and they're performing consistently, that every team will end up seated exactly where their general skill lies. I think that's awesome, because everyone can complain about circles, but given the way we structure this organization and the way that we play these games, it gives a fair battleground, if you'll excuse me, to all of these schools over the course of our however many week season.
Yeah, and I'm definitely excited to see where playoffs takes. And I personally, I gotta mention this is the bracket, the bracket contest, internally here is definitely exciting to see. Just like March Madness, building that, trying to build that perfect bracket or trying to guess who wins is absolutely insane. And I love that we're starting to kind of get more people to build on those brackets.
Yeah, this basically is March craziness, if I'm going to borrow a term. I don't know from what, but I'm just borrowing. And with that all being said and done, Game 2 for the Emerald Division is coming at you right now, ladies and gentlemen. I know we're asking about in chat. Here we go. We are live. You see Spawn Island, and these teams will go ahead. You might have seen the slide earlier, but we're going to go ahead and introduce our teams playing tonight in the Emerald Division. These ranks may have changed after the first one, but Illinois Urbana-Champaign in first place, Season 1 champions. Second place, Ohio State, 498 points. West Virginia, third place, 484. Following up, we have Riverside in fourth. Fifth place, Kennesaw State, 370. Penn State in sixth place. Following them, we have Minnesota in seventh place. Colorado School of Mines in eighth. Delaware in ninth. South Carolina in 10th. Cal Poly in 11th. RIT 12th. Mississippi State 13th, UC Davis in 14th, Illinois Chicago 15th, NC State in 16th, Kansas State in 17th, Wilmington in 18th, CSLUA Cal State Los Angeles 19th, and then bringing up the rear is AB Tech in 20th. So any teams you're excited to see coming out of the Emerald contenders tonight?
I gotta definitely say, in West Virginia, it's a bittersweet love for them. I absolutely think we definitely have gone up toe to toe with them in when we were in Emerald, and definitely Maxter. And I'm gonna call him for this. Is Maxter? I've mentioned this game quite a bit, but we almost won, and Maxter very patiently looking and staring. They do that same tactic, 3-1. They let Maxter kind of roam. But Maxter definitely has proven that tactic does work, and countless times I've seen Maxter be a little snake boy with an arm or a ghillie suit, and definitely I'm excited to see what WVU can do.
Yeah, definitely, and especially given the fact that their delta with Ohio State is only 14 points, so they're very close again to taking that spot. They could already have taken them over. Again, we'll bring you kind of the results after these games, and then we can take a look at. I'll tell you the winners of the game number 1. But now looking, we have the game going on right now. The circle, or the plane path has begun west to east, bearing a little bit northbound. It's a fair plane path. Everything's pretty accessible.
Oh, yeah.
You can definitely find cars south of Pachinki and then go to military if you darn well please, or you could kind of just go northwards to Severny and keep on Yaz.
It looks like we got a lot of people going Pochinki. That's a very large cluster there.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of them, could be going further south than Pachinki, but it doesn't appear to be. So if you're dropping that way, you're pretty much dropping Pachinki, irregardless of of your where you want to.
I think definitely doing what UTSA and UTK do as far as establishing certain cities. I think there's been a couple games where UTK drops into UTSA territory, and I love seeing where these people or somewhere some of these teams end up going and what their territory is, because definitely we've seen time and time again with a lot of these teams is they definitely pick a town and they stay with that town almost the whole season. Yeah. They have a strategy.
And a lot of that comes with team practice. Oh my gosh. 17, 13, and 11. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a three-way Pochinki battle right now. As far as you see, we have Wilmington right there. We have Cal Poly, and I believe RIT. School has 2 players. 19 AB Tech and 16 North Carolina State right now. Righteous Ranger, they have control of the roof right now. Finally, a school engagement. CPP Vito and Nizo Legendary are downstairs on that second floor. Could see him right now. Righteous Ranger going to load up that Mini 14. Could see Vito and Legendary. He definitely saw him in the window right there, but Legendary Mysim is going to get that.
Oh, that's going to be
oh no, he's not going to get it. Ranger is going to get Pixel Peach right there. He's going to go down. Nizo Legendary going to get that nice Pixel Peach. We're going to end this vexation though. Going to trade one more. You can see him through the window. Nizo Legendary going to knock him down though with that M16. Get a little bit of a trade right there. Nizo going to go ahead and pick up his boy. Endless Vexation and Righteous Ranger are down. You see the cavalry coming over to res those guys, but and here comes the reinforcements for NC State right now as they run up from apartments. You can see one's dragging behind, one's on their way east of Pool and coming up right behind them. Bill Nye going to be a good flank around trying to check those bottom floors. Only has a P92, but he's going to go in Pool and loot there. I don't believe anybody's been here so far, so fresh loot in Pool building.
They got to definitely have that game sense. They're going to have to definitely start pushing a little, or pushing towards their down teammates a little bit more, so that definitely NC State can't get over there and just finish them off.
Looks like that's kind of pretty much what just happened as Nizo Legendary finishes off one member of AB Tech right there. Dropping down, they are ready to engage. You hear the footsteps up top, so AB Tech knows that where these guys are kind of at. So Nizo just kind of sweeping Gymnasium, not going to be there. Righteous Ranger is down inside here. There he goes. Can you finish him off with the Uzi right there? So again, NC State just kind of clean sweeping, trying to root out AB Tech right now.
Definitely in school, SMGs are the primary. That is, you know, you get that high rate of fire. You know, the Uzi is. A lot of people underestimate the Uzi. The Uzi will shred.
Believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is the fastest time to kill for an SMG?
From what I believe, yes. Unless the, oh boy, the Vector. You know, the Vector
Possibly.
Once upon a time used to be the best, fastest weapon.
I remember people were
updates.
calling for the nerfs to the Vector, and then nobody uses it.
Especially with a extended clip. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That is deadly.
That is, yeah. It's a great weapon, but after its nerf, ended up like the Mini 14, where people just look at it and go, I'll take the UMP. Or the Uzi.
Looks like they're definitely taking this very slow for the clear.
During those engagements, Space is a lie going to go. Bill and I going to finish, knock and finish him off right now, leaving Boyson, last player left alive for AB Tech right now. CPP Vito has a read on the voice spot with them. Try and finish him off right now. Oh no, he actually gets a good hit. He's not actually down. That vest saving his life. They go around for the peak! No, this Spray's gonna miss a little bit. Boyson super low. But with a jumping jack, Boyson goes down and AB Tech gonna get eliminated here in school. Vito, I'm impressed he didn't die right there. That is just PUBG magic, to be honest.
A sliver of health. You know, you look back through those replays, and sometimes you just go, he had a sliver of health, and that's where you slam your keyboard.
That's where you regret the decision to not be a foot closer to that man. Interesting strat from the Colorado School of Mines, but Novo, full knowing full well that the circle is a pretty what I've called the trademark boring circle right now. It's very central. It's not crazy. It's pretty accessible to all areas, even to Kameshki. Milta is the farthest away. Milta or Prim. Just eyeballing it. Or your farthest away. You have teams both there right now. You see West Virginia down in Primorsk, and then you see Davis over in Milta Power.
You know, definitely I wanna go back and mention AB Tech. AB Tech, maybe this is a little directed or direct towards you guys, and if you do hear this, but you guys gotta definitely start picking talent.
Yeah, get used to one position and then practice it is the winning strategy. Actually, interesting enough, we have Mississippi State right now and UC Riverside taking some pot shots. Padawan from Riverside going to go down. Mississippi State not going to go for the finish though. Jason Thomasi going to go down. With the Mini 14 going to knock him out. So now just kind of a peak battle up in Savannah between Riverside and Mississippi State. Two very good teams. A lot of players from Mississippi State know what they're doing. But Riverside, of course, our biggest leader in the last season, just dominated with several hundred points lead in the regular season. Just two very good teams, again, kind of engage each other right now across the street in Severny. This is a fairly standard engagement. We've seen a lot of these teams been in this exact situation before. So, interesting to see how it'll end up.
This is definitely a county-to-county battle. You got that split in the road, and, no matter how far down you go, if you cross that road and they see you, that's a very open spot for them to just lead the bullet and gun you down.
Yeah, that's exactly why I say it's really a risk when you see teams in Pochinki. I see the most example of this where they fight across the street from each other. You have one team with 2-2 or 3-1. Ends up being the biggest kind of detriment, and the reason why you die is because you get caught out in the zone or across the street, and then crossing the street is certain death in those situations just because you're out in the open. There's literally no cover.
Oh yeah, but the first person to definitely cross over, it confuses the enemy and it gives enough time. And that's why I always have a flanker or a lurker, and it gives them enough time to definitely disrupt them. And depending on the team and the positioning, they might just all shift to one side.
Yeah, we saw that. I believe Mississippi State had one person kind of. They already have an M249. The chicken sauce is Zatchow, but that recoil is going to prove to be a little bit too much with the controlled crisp sprays of an M4. Going to take him out. He's sustaining 0 damage. Zatchow. And then this is Team 3. You're looking at Ohio State, the OSU crew, and 16 is this NC State coming fresh out of school. Winning that engagement with AB Tech, coming right into one of our top 3 teams right now.
I definitely got to give some love to Ohio or OSU. Definitely, being from UC, we got to hate each other. But I definitely got to say they are a team that is very well put together, especially Fiasco being a very high-end top fragger.
Yeah, no, he's just, again, these guys just kind of understand how the guns work in PUBG, and they're able to use their knowledge. And all that sounds very like, oh, of course, but it's true. A lot of these guys don't know all the intricacies of these weapons. So, and then Fiasco and all of our top fraggers, all top 6 of them, really understand kind of the nuanced aspects of PUBG shooting. So Team 14 right there, that was Illinois at Chicago. Saw the fight, saw OSU, decided, you know what? No, it's just not happening, and we're gonna piece on out of here and not gonna make it a scenario. One player, Bill Nye, down from NC State, and OSU just doing a really good job of holding these guys at bay.
Another cross the street battle. Of course, this looks to be a 4v2, but that cross the street battle, you can still 1v4 a team. I've personally done it. I've definitely seen people do it. You just got to kind of lure them in. They'll get impatient, and then next thing you know, they cross that street. Gun left, gun right, and easy peasy.
Surprisingly enough, 4 players left alive on each team, Mississippi State and Riverside, up here in Severny, as Mississippi State decides, you know what, peace on out, homies. We're out for you guys. Uncovered, Bang trying to do his best to lead those shots kind of farther away. Maybe anticipated them leaving, but they're not able to connect with anything right now. I'm going to switch over maybe to a 4 times. You heard that little click right there.
Man, they definitely have the top down. They're strolling down the beach, listening to the Beach Boys. Man, they're having a grand time.
Your version of the Beach Boys includes pot shots from the Scar L. I totally agree. They're going to be driving away, though. I believe that was really well set up by Riverside. Actually, you noticed Padawan's positioning especially. You don't get like that by just kind of thinking about it, Padawan deliberately was there in the anticipation that Mississippi State would go that way. It ended up not working out because their shots didn't kind of connect, but
it's definitely hard to, try to knock somebody out of the car, especially with the foot scope.
oh yeah. Wakola hit himself with the vehicle. Just thought I'd mention that. In the kill feed right now, look at team 13 and 17. Cal Poly and Wilmington right now in Pochi. Trying to think LaFrozo going to get caught out a little bit. One of those shots, 2 shots right now with the Mini 14. And that Mini 14. Really, everybody has a Mini 14 this game. There's a ton of them.
Oh, yeah.
Saw it in school, saw it in some Bernie's, now seeing it in Pochinki.
Once upon a time, the Mini was just, it might as well have been an assault rifle. It's 4x scope, you couldn't beat it.
No, it was an insane weapon. After the nerf, it's serviceable, but a bathroom boy go down right there. He's landing a shot. Cal Poly gonna take one down in the bathroom for Wilmington. Saw that strat actually work out last season. UTK got caught out, I believe, may have been Purdue, if my memory serves me correctly. Was caught out in a bathroom, and just, again, the surprise factor. In that kind of small one-room house, the bathroom is the first thing you'd expect to see, but...
Oh, yeah. Definitely leave your gun on full auto. Try to definitely sit and or go into the bathroom believing there's somebody there. Always check corners and believe that there's always a person.
Absolutely, always.
And it's all about that trigger discipline.
Yep. Speaking of trigger discipline, Sino gonna get shot at with Penn State over there. Taking some pot shots over at Mississippi State coming out of the UC Riverside battle. Jason Tomasi going to go down again. Jamie Chan having that AWM with 4 times a lethal combination of armaments in the correct hands. And go ahead and get the res there. Again, getting sniped inside of a building is the best spot because it's easy to get resed.
Oh, of course.
But you don't have a helmet. So now you have to concern, oh, can I peek now? Am I just going to go down? But Penn State slowly gaining ground on this really isolated compound right now. Again, they have a lot of tree cover and building cover to work with here. It may look like Penn State is kind of caught out, but they actually have a lot of room to work with right now in terms of trees and building positionings. You see
I gotta say, for Mississippi State, leaving one guy, especially over in another building, can definitely get a certain angle, especially when they're behind a tree. They just now need to start calling out where these guys are behind the tree and start getting better angles.
Yep.
Especially with commanders out there.
Yep, and you hear those AWMs firing off, and that was exactly the one I was looking at right now, who is kind of slowly making his way back towards the other team. But in a sense, he had the right idea. Oh, Sino could have had a pixel peek right there. I believe he could have hit that shot. Is he able to? Oh, no, a little bit too early. Jamie Chan. I have to reload again. AWM shots, very precious. You don't have a ton of them. I believe you only get 20, and then that's it. You can't find 300 Magnum on the battlefield. Jeremy Ironboard, actually, look how far pushed up he is right now. He's right inside of their grill. He's directly inside of that compound, and he's ready to go. So actually, Patapon going to get Sino. Leaving
Jeremy. He's definitely doing what I said earlier with disrupting that team, getting them all to one side.
Nice!
To figure out.
AWM pick. Jamie Chen getting that, putting Jeremy Ironboard in a great spot, actually. He's not down. Jason Tomasi and Feed Ninja trying to get the peak right now. He's coming down for Jeremy Ironboard. Gonna get those hop one time, trying to get those peaks on, but not able to connect right now. Again, seeing in the door, they know where those building is. That's Penn State's cue to go, go, go. We're gonna roll up right now, and we're gonna use this build. We're gonna tackle this building style. Patapon right now, spraying through the window. Feed Ninja gonna get the good spray down with the M16. Gonna go for it. Jeremy Ironboard gonna get Feed Ninja. Gonna get 2 right there. That's 2 down for Penn State. Ricken right now with the Uzi. Gonna try and go for that kill. See if we can get it right now. But there's 2 players left alive for Penn State, but they are kind of far away right now. As you can see on your minimap right there to the left, you have 2 players very far away. That push actually ended up going in Mississippi State's favor, and Penn State got kind of punished right there with that push.
Yeah, definitely with those kind of pushes, especially with rooms, it didn't seem like they went for the full push. It did not seem like all 4 members wanted to go. And I get that you want to send out the 2 lurkers and you want to build an anchor. But, if you're going to send a lot of those guys in, especially knowing how well secured they are, you might as well just all push.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that was kind of the folly right there, that they didn't all push as one, and they got kind of caught out now. So you can see they're playing a duo game. They're playing duos in a squad game right now, and that's not a situation you want to be in.
Definitely could work out. I've definitely seen 2 people take it to the end, but these guys right now, they're looking for Patapon, and they're trying to get the guys behind the trees.
Commander Jav going to be but here comes the zone. All teams good shots. Jamie Chan hitting nice, really pats on the people right there on the head. Jason Thompson also taking some damage. Going to go prone in the bad spot right there. Going prone, kind of the worst thing he could have done right there. Kind of just catches himself out. Commander Jav getting a nice pixel peek. Jamie Chan Doing fantastic work. One left Fiend Ninja right behind the cart, right behind the half wall right there, trying to get those headshots. Gonna have the first aid right now, but what a fantastic pixel peek from Jamie Chan right there. Able to turn this bad situation into a pretty solid one. Wondering if they're just going to leave these guys and go. Commander's out, is down but not out. The zone is king. So, oh no!
Oh.
With the arm! Jamie Chan from Penn State turns a bad push into a fantastic play. Just great work. Wow, what aim out of him tonight.
Sadly, that you know, that kind of distracted the team. Now they have such a way to go, and especially with the circle almost closing in, going to deal more damage on the next on the completion of this circle.
Yeah, so they do have to get in right now. They want to keep surviving for any period of time. Team 5 and Team 1 right now engaging with each other. This is Kennesaw State and Urbana-Champaign. Urbana-Champaign, one of actually our top team right now. The unit going to take some damage in the body right there. But UIUC known for playing really well as a squad. Sea Cucumber going to go down right there. Sergeant Kappa getting those really good headshots. Again, they do have the circle. Both teams don't have to move right now. But yikes, two of our best teams that love to play as a unit together.
Yeah. I've definitely played with Sergeant Samurai before. He's definitely a good. I think what really makes a team is when you don't have a lot of guys speaking over each other, and you have these certain guys that have their own unique personality, but yet can still form and collaborate as a team and kind of understand how to cover each other, especially when moving.
Yep, and that comes kind of with the thing. They're going to disengage from UIUC right here. And by the way, I said the pun was completely intended, as the unit is playing for UIUC. So playing as a unit, pun completely intended. They are going to disengage right now. Team 5 going to go ahead and get away from there and decide they don't want to take that fight. They're in the zone. They're just getting to a better position. We got West Virginia right here. Again, Maxter saying earlier, they are playing all together this time.
Oof.
Delaware.
Maybe they must have heeded my advice. Maybe they just heard me and were like, maybe we shouldn't have him be a snake boy anymore.
Yeah, let's just have it be the case where we all play together and not try to do. Because I mean, as good as you are with the 3v1 or 3-in-1 strat, it's inherently more risky than every other strat. Well, except for corners.
It's one of those all-in theories. You try to go all in by doing such a play like that, and it either pays off or you're coming in 15th, getting very
Freeman Team 11 right now. Again, this is over in the Sunken City of 11, 17, and 13. This is RIT you're looking at right now with Freeman swimming in the water. Team 13 got Cal Poly and 17 Wilmington University right now. Outside the zone, you have Team 13 Squirrel Toast Pie. Again, trying to get inside. Private 1 is down. You can see him peeking out of that little rock hay bale. They are all outside the zone. They do have to move in right now. All of these teams in a rough spot. Again, here comes the zone.
Especially with that water. Unless there's a boat right there, that's risky move. They should have just left them for dead and tried to get them with maybe like a 4-time scope down the river. Just run into the circle and then shoot back.
Wilmington's Weasel Wes trying to take those shots with the M16 and Red Dot, putting a lead onto Freevan and Weffel, or Kupta, Freevan and Weffels. That's the RIT crew. They're not able to finish off any of these guys. Just doing down. Actually, one of them just went down right there. You can see a good pick. I believe player from Wilmington got that down. Or died to the play zone, excuse me. The shots ended up causing the play zone down right there. Oh, he's going to get sprayed down immediately, Weasel. And that's going to be it for Wilmington right there. If I recall, yeah, he was an insta-kill, so...
Definitely Weasel should have just taken the river and tried to survive a little bit longer. But of course, that it's all about that trigger discipline.
Yep. And the decision to shoot or not shoot, again, kind of cost him his life right there, and positioning. So interesting to see. You have a lot of teams 3 and 7. Ohio State and Minnesota Twin Cities kind of up towards the northwestern end of the circle. Delaware kind of holding a central position, having a read on where West Virginia was, and then watching Jamie Chan and Penn State drive right by them.
Yeah, I think I didn't see who that was, but it looked like they did a 3-in-1 split, just kind of like how we were talking about WVU, and it looks like it was being highlighted a little bit. They did that split, and it looks like it did not pay off that time, because he's definitely down. Couldn't really see who it was though.
And Delaware has been doing much better than last season. I remember a lot of it has to do with Hunter is one of their star players. Again, he's been doing really well. A lot of practice coming out of him this in between. So definitely shout out to him. Success this season. You're in trouble again. This is UIUC looking over at Colorado School of Mines CSM, getting inside of the zone right now. They're 2 down, 2 outside, 2 inside. You're in trouble going with that nice Kobe, but they are a little bit more west of where
You know, definitely Colorado School of Mines during the split, and especially in the past split, they've definitely been playing a lot better. They've been, if I'm not mistaken, they're one of those new schools, aren't they?
Colorado School of Mines, yeah, they were not in the first season.
Oh, jeez.
So
They definitely have been doing a great job. They've done a 3-1 split before, and I've definitely seen it back when we played against them in Emerald. But they definitely come back together at the end, and they've gotten better positioning just recently.
yeah, absolutely. But interesting game right now, you see Team 14 also getting into the fray. These guys, of course, Illinois State at Chicago, taking some shots as well on Colorado School of Mines. Again, these guys between a rock and 3 hard places, 2 hard places as they run through the smoke. Good smoke cover though on these guys, doing their best to try and move in that situation. It's exactly what you need to do right now. But Trippy Remix actually going to go down right now. Classified 3. Wow, fantastic work. He's going to go towards the edge of the smokes and catch one out, and that's going to force Chicago to get out of there and going to leave them only to deal with UIUC. I say that, but that's still a better spot to be in than you were in before. Great stuff. They're able to get out of there.
They definitely, I feel like they could have definitely revived Trippy as long as he got behind a tree, because definitely that circle's coming in very slow.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just got to leave that teammate because it's not worth it to lose 2 more.
Nope, you're right. You know, you leave one for the, what do you call it, for the rest. And this is Weffels going with the smoke grenades. I believe he's the last player left alive for RIT right now. I don't see any of others boys, but he's just smoking his way in and actually doing an interesting strat, throwing smokes and veering to the right. Sometimes you would run through the smoke, but West Virginia is watching that compound, and he's just going to play the edge of the zone and hope that West Virginia doesn't see him. That's exactly what just happened, though. JB going to finish him off with the M4, securing RIT an 11th place finish.
Definitely not the WVU's one any more than I have, but they definitely have good positioning. They put 2 people in one building, 2 people in the other, and they're covering like a south approach and definitely you know, an east and west approach.
Yep. Actually, looking at it right now, Penn State coming right off and knocking 2 down from the OSU crew, leaving Chancery actually the solo boy for OSU right now. Definitely a good position, unlucky positioning for OSU right there, but Penn State able to capitalize on that. Lou XD, you see him down, maybe going to be like Senegal might try and finish him off with the Mini 14 here again. Riverside and Colorado School of Mines.
I gotta say, I think Colorado School of Mines, their favorite weapon is the Mini 14.
Oh, see, Padawan actually made an aggressive play up onto the rock right here, able to get Semicolon down with that Scar L, coming out with the frag grenade, going to pull that pin, click, pull, click, pull, throw one of those frag grenades, trying to catch some of these guys out.
A little too far left.
Yeah, a little too far left. Classified in Semicolon, moved behind that rock, and I believe he was aiming for some of those trees in the back.
But he's calling for backup.
Yeah, absolutely. One again, gonna get the nice tap. No more helmet on Classified, just one more tap on him. See that using the tilt to his advantage, not the tilt in game, but the leaning peak or whatever you may want to call it, to adjust his crosshair. And Dango gonna push up behind the rock right now. Gonna just look at that drive-by spray on Dango. This is just Vroom drove right by, sprayed him down. Just a great play on Riverside's part. 7 teams left alive, 21 players, average of 3 players per team going into this 5th circle, I believe.
It looks like we got Kennesaw there right next to Minnesota. Will Sergeant Samurai be able to hide enough to... Oh, he's in the circle, but will he be able to hide enough so that nobody sees him on top of that hill just peering over?
I mean, he is in a really good spot. There's nobody behind him right now. And his biggest threat, I'd say, is Minnesota Twin Cities, but they are kind of towards the west end of the circle and downwind from where Samurai is. So all Samurai has to do right now is nothing. Just don't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
If you also
just
notice,
sit back and wait.
Minnesota Twin Cities has Repo Wraith really close to where West Virginia is pushing, and he's kind of separated out. So West Virginia could roll a bunch of Repo Wraith and end up taking some shots. As West Virginia ends up actually deciding to engage UIUC. Not the player out. They know that it's UIUC now. They know that if they've been playing attention, they have 4 players. I believe that's actually something I haven't really touched upon, is that players can be watching the kill feeds and kind of taking mental inventory of who's in their division and who's down, how many players are left on each team.
Oh, I definitely take mental note of the top killers who get killed. You know, when I see you know, people like you're in trouble or somebody that goes down, I definitely capitalize. Well, I wouldn't say capitalize, but I keep a mental note and say, hey, there's a top killer that's down. Now that I'm a top killer, I can definitely, you know, come in and be him.
Absolutely. Max right now, Repo Wraith kind of peeking left of the tree, trying to get that pixel peek, not able to get to land an arm shot, but he's going to get punished. Nice spray down on Bojangles, able to get a peek onto him. Look at the rest of West Virginia X-Worms trying right now. This is going to run Max to Repo down over there, run right behind the Mighty Derb.
You know, they definitely did this pincer plan, and as soon as they saw UIUC, they kind of formed back together. But that pincer plan, that either could have been huge, and they could have taken on UIUC, which would have been definitely risky. But that pincer, they could have gone around and then met up back in the middle. You know, I've never really done it, but I would definitely be interested to see how a pincer plan definitely goes.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I remember seeing was in the duos. A lot of duos games you see top teams sort of pincering. Sergeant Samurai actually making a bold choice. He's shooting at Penn State. Jamie Chan, last player left alive. Jamie Chan has been on point tonight with his aim though, so it's a 1v1 with Samurai and Jamie Chan. Going to go for the kill, but Nikhil actually from Minnesota Twin City is going to finish off Sergeant Samurai. They're securing Kennesaw State a 7th place finish. JB right now.
Definitely being one of those people to sit back and just kind of wait in the circle is definitely super hard. I personally can't do it. I get way too fidgety. I think I'm going to get ran up on it. So I don't believe in Sergeant Samurai there. But if he sat there and just waited for somebody to roll over him, he could have gotten a better placement.
But it's also important to know that Penn State may have seen him because he was kind of out. He was in a little dip right there with the rock and the hill, and there was not a lot of tall grass.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of conditional when to shoot. And you know, West Virginia just really having it on for UIUC right now. They're taking some pot shots at them. From University of Delaware again, trying to land those shots inside of the building. West Virginia now realizing they're caught between two teams right now. Here goes from Riverside, taking shots at UIUC. West Virginia. Just all of these teams dangle, just eating shots left and right. You're in trouble. Gonna finally knock him out. Helmet and vest a little bit low right now. Padawan kind of behind the rock in a rough spot to get res. Looking at UIUC right here, playing a great game, great squad distribution. That frag grenade, you saw that
you definitely feel bad to take those shots as a player, to take the shots as they're getting just beaten up on, but at the same time, that's an extra kill for your team, which is directly an extra point. And if you could steal it from the enemy, that's less of a point for the enemy there.
Yep, and Jamie Chan actually going to go down right there. Penn State going to go ahead and finish in 6th place tonight. I believe I saw who they got killed by, but they did go down. Now it is a test between some of our highest teams who ended up in the last circle. We have UIUC, we have the UC Riverside, we have West Virginia, and Minnesota Twin Cities. Oh, Delaware. Those are your 5 teams currently. Great job, JB. Getting a quick scopes trying to by You're in Trouble. Is now going to switch over to the M4, or the SCAR, excuse me, with the 4 times.
Do we not have Ohio State still?
No, I think Ohio State got eliminated.
It would have been very interesting to see the top 4.
A little bit of X-Swarm is going to go down there. Sea Cucumber. Great shots with the U. Great shots with the M16 from UIUC. Leaving Mighty Derb to JB left alive. JB getting shot at by looking like Hunter from Delaware. Going to shoot, leaving the Mighty Derb last player left alive for West Virginia. Interesting scenario. Nico going to go down there. Naraya holding a tree. Mighty Derb going to go down. Sea Cucumber finally getting that kill. UIUC unit, of course, shooting now at Riverside, switching engagements. And that's something I love about UIUC. They really like to switch engagements at a dime. So once they're done with West Virginia, bam, now we're on Riverside. Or now, bam, we're on Delaware.
That's definitely one of the biggest team cohesion, being able to switch between targets and telling your whole team.
Naraya actually going to get Dingus Khan there and Nikhil, but Delaware is actually going to finish that engagement off. They're able to take on Minnesota and knock them out, securing them a 3rd place finish, I believe. The unit gets caught out there. Padawan just taking those easy taps and going to finish off the unit, leaving UIUC with 3 players left alive. The nerves kind of got to him. Padawan is going to go down as well from Riverside right now. I believe 1 player, 1 or 2 players from 2 players. Throwing the smoke, Sea Cucumber Sea Cucumber using the AK single fire with the 8 times as an improvised Mar. They're getting caught out right now. Look at this. Neo Jonathan gonna connect Dango with the M4. There's a 3-way engagement right there. Completely triangle fight right now. Dango, last player left alive for Riverside. Neo Jonathan gonna finish off Dango with the M416. You see right now pushing down the hill. We had Sea Cucumber trying to get a better position. Delaware having 2 players, 6 players left alive. This is intense.
Ooh, we got a smoke boy.
That's a new one.
Yeah, that's a nice little smoke boy. He's just sitting in the smoke until the smoke goes away. Maybe the breeze, shifts it a little bit if there were a breeze.
That would be interesting. But a 1v2v3 between Delaware, UIUC, and Riverside. Look at Hunter right now, just trying. Look at that single fire. He's just tapping really fast, trying to land You're in Trouble and the Riot as well. They are aware of. One of them's gonna go down. Neo Jonathan gonna go down with a mini 14 right there. Wum having to move inside the zone. Great finish by him.
Go Smoke Boy, go!
Go! That's a rough spot. He's gonna run. Oh no!
Smoke Boy!
Right in the neck. Right in the neck up with the M16. You see him just face plant down the hill. Now it's Delaware versus UIUC. What a crazy engagement. It's a 2v2. Delaware and Urbana-Champaign. Naraya trying to take good. Yeah.
Please come in, Delaware.
Oh, that would be awesome. They have the zone, but it's kind of the zone where it doesn't matter terribly too much as they still have. Wait, no, they don't have a lot of trouble. You're in trouble. Delaware taking them on. You're in trouble is really low right now. Naraya just land a few more shots. You're in trouble. Stop! You're in trouble goes down. 1v2 right now. Sea Cucumber and Hunter is down as well as a 1v1 Naraya and Sea Cucumber trying their best to pick each other off. You're going to look for Sea Cucumber, who's just out in the middle of the field. Naraya spots him off, has no helmet though. One more shot. Sea Cucumber able to land those effective shots. Going to go ahead and bandage up right now. Naraya has a very weak level 3 helmet. Sea Cucumber has no level 3 helmet. Looking like both are not able to go for the level 3. Good headshot. Nice peek on Sea Cucumber. Able to knock out some more damage on Naraya. The helmet is still alive, but the one shot from the AK is rough. Peek out again. Trying it. That's going to be it. Sea Cucumber. Well played by both teams. An aggressive peek. Naraya, I believe, peeked. She peeked on the same side a little one too many times, and Sea Cucumber was ready and willing for it. Congratulations to our top 3. UIUC with a commanding 10 kills in first place. Second place, Delaware with 3 kills. Third place, we have Riverside with 4 + 2 + 2 is 8 kills. And then, yeah, congratulations to our top 3 teams. Just did a great job tonight.
Oh, definitely. Delaware, I was, I kind of wanted to see you guys come in. Number 2 is definitely not bad, especially with those 3 kills. UIUC had a ton of kills as well. What is that there? We got 10 kills for UIUC. That's absolutely great. Delaware, with those 3 kills in that second place, that's definitely going to get you a lot, especially, where you guys are. And if Hunter did not go down, I think he would have been able to go right, and he would have been able to get Sea Cucumber. It just happened to be that there was a couple missed shots, and definitely you had the helmet, but you just gotta definitely practice those pixel peaks, and hopefully that works out for you in the end.
And just quickly going to show you guys I'm gonna go ahead and get these saved up for you guys and show you the end result screen for game number 1. Oh, excuse me. Show you guys that in 1 second. But yeah, an interesting end to game number 1 for Emerald. We're going to show you the stat screen right here. If you can see, Jason Tomasi, this is Mississippi State, actually won the game, beating out UIUC, who came in second. Third place, you have Delaware. Delaware had a great night tonight. Hunter having 6 kills, really carrying the team to third place right there. Fourth place, and then you see that is Penn State coming in 4th. So just a great night for UIUC and Delaware alike. The placement's really going to help those guys, especially going forward.
Definitely, and Penn State definitely did. That was a great and valiant effort there. And honestly, Colorado School of Mines coming there in 5th. Let's see what they had 4 kills and still number 5 with 4 kills. Oh wait, sorry, was I mistaken? Are they number? Oh, okay, that was the prior screen. I am so sorry. With Colorado School of Mines, they had a great night as well. I think Colorado School of Mines is definitely one of those teams that's going to, especially over this split, is going to slowly creep up the ladder. The same way that I saw, my team, the University of Cincinnati, do.
So thank you everybody for coming out and enjoying our Emerald and Ruby games tonight. If you enjoyed what you saw, you go ahead click that follow button. If you want to be notified for when we go live, we will be live. That is Sunday, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Diamond Division, and then Tuesday same time for our Sapphire Division. Again, that's our Division 2. Come out and check those guys out. Then come again Thursday, Emerald and Ruby again at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then catch us again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Diamond Games and 9 p.m. for Emerald and Ruby again. So you can follow our social media on Facebook and Twitter if you are interested to see updates about the league and about the players. And if you want to talk directly to our players and staff, you can go ahead and join our Discord. And of course, if you would like to subscribe to our Twitch channel, by no means is it necessary, but we truly appreciate all of our subscribers. You can check out the CBA Snake Boys emote in the chat. You can check that out if you subscribe. By no means is it required, but we thank all of our subscribers for helping to make Collegiate Battlegrounds the premier collegiate PUBG league. And with that, I have been Airless Goose.
And I have been Elm Zero.
Thank you for coming out, and we hope to see you guys in the future. Have a great night, everybody.
Night, guys.